Everybody wants to think it's all about the going to the parties, but this is a storytelling. Fiesta San Antonio is storytelling.
The crowns, the medals, the chicken on a stick, they're what make Fiesta, Fiesta. But let's rewind, clear away the confetti, and head back to 1891, where the roots of Fiesta were planted in the Battle of Flowers Parade. A group of women came up with a plan in 1891 to honor Texas heroes.
Women got together to celebrate the Battle of San Jacinto and the Alamo.
Imagine horse-drawn carriages, bicycles decorated with fresh flowers, and floats carrying children dressed as flowers. Today, Battle of Flowers is the largest parade of Fiesta and still honors those fallen Texas heroes. It's the only parade in the country planned and directed by all women. After the success of that first Battle of Flowers parade, that's when the idea of royalty blossomed. Before Fiesta, there used to be something called Spring Carnival in San Antonio.
It was somewhat disorganized, which started leading to why these women started gathering and wanted a little bit more of a formal event and repeated it the next year.
That event had royalty, and it's where the idea for Fiesta royalty came from. The early unofficial kings were given some creative names. King Selamat, that's tamales spelled backwards, or King Omala, Alamo spelled backwards. It was 1909 when the ladies started to rule over Fiesta. That's the year the Order of the Alamo was founded, aimed at preserving the stories of Texas independence. The Order of the Alamo selects a queen and her court each year.
These gowns and trains and headpieces and handpieces are worn by the queen, princess, and 24 duchesses that the Order of the Alamo crowns.
Their gowns are elaborate, elegant, and they have a theme.
The order designates a mistress of the robes who spends a year designing, coming up with a theme, designing the dresses for each individual woman involved.
The Whitty Museum has hundreds of these dresses in its collection, and each year during Fiesta, they choose some to display.
Being able to provide a glimpse of the past of the celebration I feel like allows people to really embrace what it means for San Antonio now.
In 1926, the Texas Cavaliers came along.
The Cavaliers came in and began with King Antonio. So he is actually the first official Fiesta King.
They started out as a social club looking to preserve the history of bravery of the Alamo heroes. The Cavaliers' signature look, those royally recognizable blue and red uniforms. They crowned their first King Antonio to preside over Fiesta in 1927. 20 years later, Fiesta added a second king to its royal ranks, El Rey Feo.
This started in Mexico when they had their royalty and their merriment. They had somebody that was within their rank of their living, and they took this idea and brought it to San Antonio and started the Rey Feo.
So he was the People's King.
The People's King.
Today, there are 9 members of official Fiesta royalty, but there are plenty of unofficial kings and queens, as the list of organizations taking part in Fiesta has exploded, and many want to crown their own. Each official king and queen serves 1 year with the duties of supporting charitable organizations that benefit San Antonio. The biggest crowds catch the kings and queens riding and waving along the parade routes. In 1941, one of those routes became a river. The Texas Cavaliers kicked off their first ever river parade that year after some Cavaliers traveled to Mexico and were inspired by the floating gardens of Mexico City. The Cavaliers brought the idea back home, all coinciding with the restoration project along the San Antonio River. And then there were 3. 7 years later, Fiesta Flambeau was born, an illuminated night parade. In those early days, torch brigades were used to light the night, groups of men carrying 5-foot poles with flares attached. Flambeau today is known as America's largest illuminated night parade, put on by the Fiesta Flambeau Parade Association. In between those big parades, there are days of events that benefit nonprofits all across the city. Nonprofits apply to the Fiesta Commission to become a participating member organization of Fiesta. The commission evaluates an event over 3 years. If after those 3 years the Fiesta Commission signs off on a group's participation, their event becomes officially part of Fiesta.
And then every 5 years, they're reviewed.
So how does the Fiesta Commission make sure the money raised by these organizations is being put to good use? Tax records.
That 5-year review that happens is reviewing a group's financials, part of that.
Financials, yes. Their organization, the purpose of their event, like Jim said. Who is it benefiting? Do we have something that represents every part of our city in every category?
For many nonprofits, Fiesta is their biggest fundraiser. And with a variety of groups taking part, there are all kinds of events and all over the city. No matter where you Fiesta, you'll find medals, the Fiesta signature. Businesses, nonprofits, politicians, and just individual people design a medal with their own Fiesta flair. They're swapped, sold, and collected. They can be just about anything anyone imagines. In 1946, King Antonio started giving coins to children at events. Then in 1971, King Antonio the 49th, Charles Orsinger, handed out what was considered to be the first official Fiesta medal.
In 71, King Antonio, my mother gave me this. She saved it in a box. And this was the original King medal.
Before that, only Fiesta royalty wore the medals, but that changed, and fast.
The medals get bigger and bigger. We've seen liquid in medals this year, a lot of dangles, a lot of spinning pieces.
Monarch Trophy makes thousands of medals each year.
What is it like here leading up to Fiesta?
It's crazy, and it goes almost year-round. So we start drawing Fiesta medals in early August or July. So the customer will come in and give a general idea of what they're hoping to do, and our artist will take that idea and generate a totally custom design for them.
Those designs get sent off for production, and when they come back, they're assembled here at Monarch.
Do you all have to bring in additional staff to handle this time of year?
Yes, we try to bring in anywhere from 5 to 10 people to help out with it. We bring in students part-time to come help out.
To get ready for a citywide celebration, a party with a purpose.
And the theme is Fiesta for All, because it's everywhere in San Antonio. Every corner of San Antonio has a piece of Fiesta.
I'm ready.
We're ready for it, right? Our entire KSAT Explains library is available to stream on our website and YouTube page. We cover a whole lot of different topics. Scan this QR code you see here on your screen to watch this episode and so many more right now.
And let's give a shout out to all the people behind the scenes that make Fiesta events happen.
Yes.
The unheralded ones. Absolutely. And of course, you can find every single bit of Fiesta news on our Fiesta 2024 webpage. Just scan this QR code on your screen to learn more about medal giveaways, Fiesta events, parade routes,